this video, we're going to look at the latest pedal from the Boss Waza line, the HM-2w. In addition to the demo, I'm going to go over the differences and similarities in aesthetics and packaging over the years. So I've got a first year, October 1983 HM2. This one's in like near mint condition, and the brand new HM2 Waza. So we'll dig into the first one. Inside you just got a simple registration card. Pretty much everything's in Japanese. This is a Japanese market, one that I bought from Japan. I think I got this one on eBay. It's a pretty standard. This is how you turn it on. This is what everything does. Got some recommended settings, but no chainsaw, go figure. Got your ACA sticker. Pretty standard. Let's take a look at the Waza. So immediately, tons and tons of registration and support cards. Looks like this is probably the registration. And then these are all the same thing, just different languages is my guess. This is just one big fold out. For the owner's manual. Precautions and other things no one reads. Pretty simple black box. Oh, look at that. Number 6. So what are the similarities and differences aesthetically? So the face of the pedal is virtually identical with the exception of the Waza badge, the W following the 2, and obviously this is going to have a significantly brighter LED. The retaining nut on the Waza is black, where the standard, the original one, is just now oxidized, just silver metal. Obviously the Waza is going to be 9-volt operation, where all other HM2s, Boss HM2s that is in 12 volt. You do have your standard and custom mode right here, so that's a nice one. I think the tuner, the TU3W, is the only other one that I know of that has the mode switch, which you can either choose true bypass or buffer, which I think is a great option depending on what your signal chain's like. But if you've ever taken one of these things completely apart, most Boss pedals, at least the enclosures are virtually identical. So I never use batteries in mine. So you got a silver screw for all the Waza line, where the standard is just the regular black thumb screw. Something that they did or have changed recently is the footprint of the rubber foot pad, which I think this is a great idea. It looks like they were taking into consideration people using Velcro to hold their pedal down on a board, instead of these old ones where you have so little room that you can, if you're wanting to keep the resale value, you can damage the sticker on the bottom. But otherwise, I think Boss did a really good job keeping it as true to the original as possible. One thing, I don't know if this will pick up on the camera, if you notice about newer Boss pedals, the corners are sharper. There's more of a hard angle, where the older ones have softer round edges. And I think it's really prominent on the late 70s pedals too, like the, was it the SD1? Like the enclosures look almost bubbly, where these are much more rigid and square looking. All right, now we'll look at the EQ curves side by side. This is the same pedal I use in the majority of my videos. It's an 84 made in Japan HM2 with the new Waza Craft in standard or stock mode. All right, so immediately you can tell they do look fairly similar, almost identical. However, the high mid peaks are more pronounced on the Waza, probably just due to tighter parts tolerances, which is a good thing. However, it's a bit more broad of a low mid scoop than the original. So let's take a look at custom mode. Because what you'll see here is there's a pronounced low mid scoop in custom mode. So you'll hear in the side by side the dramatic difference between these two, especially in custom mode. Just my opinion, I personally think Boss, instead of, you'll hear later like I said, but instead of pushing the low end in the custom mode, I think they should have pushed the mids. Doing any research on the newer clones that are out, the more modern ones, you'll hear that the mids are pushed to an extreme on those, and that's part of what makes them so popular. now for my conclusion. For the standard mode, it's tighter and heavier. It sounds good, but it does not sound exactly like the original. You can adjust your amp to mimic the original tone. For the custom mode, this is my only true complaint about this pedal. I don't feel that Boss should have pushed the low end on this. I don't think they should have made the custom mode heavier. I think they should have focused on the mids. If you look at any of the more modern clones, the ones that are pushing a very specific mid-range, that's what makes them so popular. There is one bonus about this, which I doubt was Boss's intention. The custom mode, maxed out, is perfect for a bass guitar. The mix song that I did earlier in the video, that was HM2 standard mode, HM-2w standard mode left and right, and the custom mode maxed out for the bass right down the middle, and it sounds absolutely disgusting. It sounds really good. I can't see any usable chainsaw tone in the custom mode though, and for the number one reason why that pedal is popular, it has nothing to do with Pink Floyd or the Grateful Dead or My Bloody Valentine, even though they all used it in very specific ways for their tone, which is fine. But it's Dismember, it's Carnage, it's Entombed, it's, I mean, more modern bands like Fuming Mouth and Gatecreeper, Nightbearer, they have a very specific sound, and that's what's gaining popularity. So as this is another piece in the continuation of the HM2, which I absolutely love, or this channel wouldn't exist, I do feel that is my one criticism, my one main criticism that I want to point out, is the custom mode shouldn't have been geared towards being heavier unless they were specifically aiming at bass players, which is kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a shot in the dark to assume that. So whether this is your first time watching or you've seen every video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Like, comment, dislike if you hate it, I don't really care. The more activity that's on this video, on this channel, the more it picks up on the algorithm, the better it does. So thank you for watching.